For the first time ever, we're ready to race for the second time in 1 week, not just with the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series, but also Whiplash Racing League Legends on the racetrack at Cedar Lake Speedway in the virtual New Richmond, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining us. My name is Andrew Cardinale IV. I'm trying to throw too many things in at once because qualifying is already rolling. My name, as said, Andrew Cardinale IV. This is Pit Stop TV, all the good stuff. We got dropped out of the session right as we were trying to go live the first time, so we had to load back in a hurry, but 8 cars on the racetrack just like a couple of nights ago at Williams Grove Speedway. This time, though, we are at Cedar Lake. I'm super excited for this one. I really like this racetrack. It doesn't matter what the car is. I really enjoy Cedar Lake Speedway. There you see a quick look at the Cedar Lake Speedway, not just the track map, but also in the sim this evening, and I'm excited. This is going to be a fun one. I should have run these graphics first. Here we go. This broadcast, of course, an exhibition race for the WRL Legends Tour. And, oh, I guess I ran 2 of the same graphic there. That's all right. Anyways, this broadcast brought to you by Whiplash Creative, by Murtis Esports, and by CC's Business. we're still kind of figuring things out with this Whiplash Racing League side of things. A big thank you, by the way, as well to the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series, if I can get the words out today, and Brody Wilhelm for allowing us to run these races. We're going to be trying this as well Wednesday, June 24th with the Sim Auto Racing Association, otherwise known as SARA, for their National Tour race, the Oarsman National Tour race at South Boston Speedway. That should be a lot of fun. There you see cars on the racetrack. Qualifying has been rolling for about 7 minutes now. Admittedly, probably a long qualifying session for these guys, but it gives them a chance to work the track in a little more, learn a little bit more about how they want to take these corners and what they can and can't do. Of course, the track is going to wear out a little more. That's going to give us maybe some better racing once we actually get to our 30-lap feature this evening. Just like a couple of nights ago at Williams Grove, if you count that one. We're running 30 laps. Actually, I think it was 35 laps that night, or I'm not sure. But we're running 30 laps tonight. Fixed setups, one fast repair, one green-white checkered if needed. It is, as we send one flipping on the inside of the racetrack there to the outside. That was Matt Vorndran, I believe, going for a tumble. We have a couple of different drivers here this evening that were not here a couple of nights ago, but as qualifying gets going, or continues on, I should say, here's a driver that was here back on Wednesday evening, Kevin Baumler. Currently on top in qualifying by about 3/100ths of a second over Nick Geilis. That is a name we weren't saying a whole lot on Wednesday. He was in the YouTube chat, though, and I told him he could run if he wanted to. He simply wanted the 007. And so here he is, Nick Geilis in the field. Good to have him here this evening. Brady Moats also on the racetrack this evening, trying his hand at Dirt Legends Racing once again. Third quick so far in this qualifying session. Zach Lindgren on the racetrack. Oh man, it is good to say his name on a Pit Stop TV broadcast. It's been a while, but Zach is out there in fourth currently in practice, just barely slower than Brady Moats and just barely faster than Matt Vorndran, who's down the inside of, I believe, turn number 2. And there you see the 8th place driver joining him. That was Ben Kinney. How about Cody Dempster from the Sarah field? He's running this evening. He typically runs the Sarah National Tour, and I think even some Super Series starts here and there. So we should see him on Wednesday at South Boston Speedway. There you see driver number 48. And then also his friend, Ryan McClellan. I don't know a whole lot about this guy, but we're glad to have the number 97 here this evening. He is currently 7th on the board in qualifying, followed shortly by Ben Kinney in the number 41, who we've come to know and very much appreciate here at Pit Stop TV. Always happy to run our colors, and we very much love that for the number 41. Ben Kinney, of course, a news anchor out of New York. He's starting to get some rumblings going in our Discord about wanting to run a big block race at Oswego, and honestly, I'm for it. I would love to do something like that. I think those Northeast Modifieds are a bunch of fun, whether it's the 358 or the big block, and I would be more than happy to organize something like that. So Ben, I think that can definitely happen here in the near future. But qualifying coming down to a close in just a couple of moments, and there you see Kevin Baumler leading the way still in this qualifying session. So in case you're joining the broadcast and you're wondering, hey, this is supposed to be the Sprint Car Championship Series at Cedar Lake. Well, it is technically. Our broadcast will continue on into 410 sprint car coverage in just a little while, but we're kind of running this as a teaser of what the racetrack can provide, a bit of a support race as well this evening. And we did this on Wednesday, had a lot of fun. We're going to try to do it a bit more through the balance of 2026, and hopefully we can get some dirt guys in here eventually. I think we got a couple, I guess. Not from the sprint car side, but Kevin Baumler and Brady Moats both have a bit of a background, so certainly hope to get some more of the regular dirt guys, I suppose, in here as time goes on, and that will bring our qualifying session right to a close and send us into our 30-lap feature. So sprint cars still on the docket. I do want to take a look here at the Dirt Legend car itself. So this is the U.S. Legend Cars International Dirt Legends car. I will say a quick note on the engine. The USLCI website shows that these cars in real life do run the Yamaha FZ09. I believe the iRacing car may still be based on the FJ, I believe it is the 1250cc, but this is the 900cc engine, the 3-cylinder. The 1250 is a 4-cylinder. It's a small difference, both Yamaha engines, and they put out about the same power. So 115 horsepower, 72 foot-pounds of torque, only 4.1 gallons allowed in the fuel cell. With the 11.4 to 1 compression. You see some other details there. 123 mile per hour top speed. We will not be hitting that this evening. Cars are on the racetrack and ready to go racing this evening. This will happen quick, so let's go ahead and meet our starting grid. On pole this evening, Kevin Baumler from the Nora Retro Series. He's going to lead us to the green here at Cedar Lake, followed by Nick Geilis, also from the Nora Retro Series. How about a Nora Retro top 3, as it'll be Brady Moats coming to the green flag in 3rd spot, followed by Zach Lindgren over his right shoulder, then Matt Vorendran and Cody Dempster in row number 3, and finally the back end of the grid, Brian McClellan and Ben Kinney. This is going to be a lot of fun. 30 laps, bit of a teaser, bit of a support race here to get things started. Dirt Legends on the racetrack at Cedar Lake Speedway. 410 sprint car is coming right up after this. Kevin Baumler to the start zone. And we are green flag racing in Wisconsin. Lap number 1 goes complete with Kevin Baumler at the point. Not a big surprise there. I think with no Josh Conover in the field tonight, he may well have this one at least within reach, if not in the bag, as there's some contact back there. Problems at a crash for Brian McClellan and Cody Dempster in turns 3 and 4. That will bring out our first caution flag of the evening. Caution laps will count tonight. We, of course, have that sprint car race coming up in just a little bit, so we don't want to take too long and encroach on their time. Let's take a look back at what happened here to Cody Dempster. This is back to lap 1, so bear with us as we get to lap number 2 on the replay. That's where this crash is going to happen. He's following Matt Vorendran there to turn 1. See, the track is a little bumpy. And he's right down on the inside. You could run kind of bottom, middle, or top. This track is wide open to that. Just hit the tires on the inside, went around. Big miss for Ben Kinney. But Brian McClellan not so lucky. Here's a look at that Murtis mega miss for Ben Kinney in the number 41. Heard him hitting the chip there into the corner, and Dempster goes around. Whoa! He might have just tapped the 48, but I tell you what, that was a solid miss in my book, so props to Ben Kinney on that. He will stay in the field. These drivers do have a fast repair if they so choose to use it, and it looks like Brian McClellan may be doing just that. As I believe, yeah, Cody Dempster has as well. Dempster lining up for the restart. Here we go. They did take a choose. We are racing into turn number 1 and back green on lap 6. That's Zach Lindgren down to the bottom. He hits the tires way down there. He's going to fall back. Dempster gives him a hit, then into Kinney. My, oh my, we are getting physical tonight. And into the wall, Matt Vorendran in trouble. The 0-0, a big, big hit to the outside wall. 2 cautions very quickly in this 30-lap feature race. No heats or anything for these guys this evening. Here's a look at it for Matt. He's racing Brady Moats for second, kind of comes across his nose. Brady was there and backs into the outside wall. Thankfully, I think his car should be okay out of that. But still, obviously not how he wanted that to go. He just came up the racetrack, kind of slid in front of the 8 car, and boom. And Vorendran has taken that car to the pit lane for service. He'll get back out and try to get a lap back. He does have those admin controls, so he can help himself and Brian McClellan to a couple of laps. McClellan not taking any here, but I'd imagine Vorendran will try to get that number 97 caught up. Meanwhile, boy, Kevin Baumler, I know these cautions are helping him, as here we go for the choose in the front straightaway. Baumler going to take the top side, Moats down low. Looks like Lindgren will take the bottom again. Guylis goes up top. Kenny down low, Dempster up top, and then McClellan and Vorndran will meet up at the back end of the field. We'll try this over again. Kevin Baumler gonna lead us back to the green. 10 down, 20 to go in the Legends race. Brady Motes has the lead by just a bit of a nose into turn number 3 right there. The bottom side can work. You might have to drop down into third gear. That might be what Motes is doing, as he is working the inside of the racetrack very nicely. Nearly has the 81 clear, not quite. They'll keep racing into turn 3, and now looks like Baumler might have the number 8 clear finally, as Guylos is going to work the very top side of the racetrack. Dempster through the middle. Kenny and Vorndran having a great race back there, but this is the battle through your top 5 as Dempster's coming back to life. Motes up the racetrack. Guylos fills the gap, goes 3 wide. They're all chasing the number 81, and boy, is it fun to watch. See him set the slide. You can tell when a car gets a little too sideways because the motor bogs down. They kind of slow down and fall back a couple of car lengths. And Dempster right there does exactly that. He falls back a little ways as Modes gets alongside of Guylis. That is for the 3rd position. Zach Lindgren, very much not a dirt racer by trade. He is doing very good in this 2nd spot. He is chasing Baumler down, halfway to go. Cross flags that time across the stripe. You see Baumler respond. Of course, they do have mirrors enabled, and Legend cars typically have mirrors. Not sure how that differs actually on dirt, but I know a lot of dirt cars don't. The sprint cars we'll see in a little while don't. Baumler starting to get away now. Battle for 3rd. That is going to be, again, the 007 and the 8 car. Here comes Motes around the outside. Nearly gets the wall. Dempster looks on from behind. Great little 3-car fight as Ben Kinney is the one that has kind of fallen off here on the lead lap, but he is still right behind these guys. If they slip up, it won't take long for him to catch up. As he's running in 3rd gear, I think he might pull 4th on the straight. He does, briefly. Then back down into 2nd. Or 3rd, rather. Next time by will be 10 laps to go in our Whiplash Racing League Legends feature here at Cedar Lake. This is the battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and now 6th. Motes, Guylis, they both take the top side. Dempster down low. On board with Guylis. There you see a slide job just a bit out of Cody Dempster. A bit of a shot there in the bumper from Guylis. This is fantastic stuff. I love Legend car racing, whether it's oval, road, dirt. This is a fantastic little spec race car. It's super approachable. Yeah, it's a little funky if you're used to running big old stock cars, but man, these things are a ton of fun. And they sound pretty cool too. Kevin Baumler leads. Getting down to the final few laps. Zach Lindgren approaching. Can the 85 get there in time? Caution! He's going to have an opportunity as Guylis is around on the back straightaway. Or at least slow. Not sure if he actually went all the way around. Let's go and get a look. He was racing with Vorndran, and this is for about 5th spot. And they go into turn 1. Guylis just over-rotated, slowed down. I think Vorndran might have just missed him, but not by a whole lot. Might be another contender for Murtis Mega Miss here today. Here's the bumper cam. See the 007 get loose, and yeah, what a miss by the 00. Matt Vorndran pedaling that thing beautifully to stay off the back end of the 007 in that. We'll get the 97 waved around the pace car a couple of times. and then turn these guys back loose for the final little run to the end. They do have a green-white checkered if needed, an attempt at overtime. That could spice things up. This has been a pretty quick race. Only 8:42 Eastern. And Baumler going to take the field up the racetrack here as we get ready to go back racing. It'll be 3 laps to go at the drop of the green. There goes Baumler. He chose the top side. 3 to go at Cedar Lake and the Legends. Here comes Cody Dempster to the inside of Zach Lindgren. That's the fight for second. Kevin Baumler getting away, but it's Lindgren, Dempster, and Motes battling for second spot. Vorndran not far behind. That was 2 to go. They'll get the white flag this next time by. Can Lindgren hang on to second? I think so. Dempster's around. Is that going to be a caution? No yellow. We'll keep it green. We're racing back around to the stripe. Can Lindgren get there for the win? Kevin Baumler into turn number 3. And Kevin will get himself that dirt win. Checkered flag, car number 81. The 85 comes home second. Brady Motes will finish third, and it's a 3-wide run to the stripe for some of those guys towards the back. But Kevin Baumler able to put together a flawless feature race and park it in victory lane at Cedar Lake Speedway. How about that for the driver of the number 81? You know he likes his dirt racing. And Zach Lindgren out of Los Lunas, New Mexico. How about that run for the number 85? He'll park it as well as the number 8. Brady Motes will finish third. We'll take a quick look back at your unofficial race results. Considering I guess I am the league owner here, I don't anticipate any of this being changed, but we'll go back and look at it anyways with that note that this is technically unofficial. There you see Kevin Baumler with the win. Zach Lindgren second, Brady Motes in the third spot. And then it all kind of fell apart fourth on back. It was Guylis in fourth, Dempster and Kinney, your top 6. And then Vorndran had problems there in the last lap. He finishes 7th with Brian McClellan in 8th. I do want to say before we get to these interviews, I very much appreciate all of these drivers for racing this evening. You guys don't have to. This is completely free, just for fun, really, before the sprint car race. And we're starting to put something together here, I think, in the Legend Cars on Pit Stop TV and the Whiplash Racing League, and I so appreciate it. So thank you guys, all 8 of you, for racing this evening. Yes, even you, Matt, Zach, Brady, everybody else, a big thank you. We're going to go ahead and grab, if I can find him here, our race winner. Yes, Kevin Baumler. We will talk to the driver of the number 81. Who's able to grab this win this evening, Kevin? I know this is kind of just bragging rights, but that's got to feel good, right? To go out on the dirt, have some fun, and come away with the W, if I can get the words out today. And it looked like for a second there, maybe there'd be a fight on that last restart. Were you worried at all?
Oh yeah, Brady was pretty fast. Zach was pretty fast. So I knew I had my hands full. I think Zach might have actually been a little quicker on the bottom. So I wasn't terribly upset when that caution came out with 5 to go or whatever it was there. I knew the restart was a big advantage of my hand.
It looked like a lot of fun out there. I've been testing this car here a little bit, and of course at Williams Grove, to make sure we were ready for these kinds of events. I really enjoyed it. I did notice it felt like 4th gear was better for the top, 3rd better for the bottom. What did you find in that regard?
Yeah, I played around with it a little bit in the practice trying to shift, and that wasn't it. But I think if you're on the bottom, 3rd gear was definitely doable. But run the top, 4th gear, you just had so much momentum. I had to leave it in 4th, but it definitely made it for an interesting race. I mean, people could run the top, they could run the bottom, move around, and that's really what you need when it comes to dirt track racing.
I joked with Josh Conover a couple of days ago that we need to get these cars out in like support events for Nora as well on Mondays. Is that something, as somebody who of course runs full time over there, is that something you'd want to see on Monday nights? Just a little bit of extra fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be fun. Probably something that would loosen some of the guys up and take their mind off of the main event, and just kind of get the the juices flowing a little bit, as they say, and get everybody ready for the main race on Mondays.
Hey, good to talk to you, Kevin. Congratulations. Always good to grab a race win. Hopefully you're grabbing some more of these things soon.
We'll see. We're on the pole for Chicagoland on Mondays, so we've done that quite a few times that we can't put races together. So I guess we'll find out in a couple days.
Hey, you won from the pole tonight. Let's see if you can do it again on Monday. Best of luck.
Yep, thank you.
Having Baumler this evening from first to first. That's always a good stat line. Back into second place, it is Los Lunas, New Mexico's very own Zach Lindgren, who finishes second. And Zach, boy, I know anytime you go dirt racing, you're just kind of hoping to finish the race and not be scattered across the racetrack in a million parts and pieces. What do you know? Second place tonight. You started fourth. Maybe this dirt thing can still work out for you, huh?
Something like that. I spent most of the practice trying to figure out how to even control the car, and then once I figured that out, I didn't know my left from my right. So most of the practice was just kind of figuring out, figuring this dirt thing out. I think the biggest thing that turns me off towards dirt is how much the track changes and how much you got to change with it. You know, coming from asphalt oval, the track changes, but at a kind of slow degree. You kind of see people start trying new things and different things, and it's a slow degree, whereas at dirt, you've got to be on top of it every single lap and every single corner. But no, I mean, kind of unexpected tonight. I figured I would have 6th to 4th place speed. I kind of was around there the entire practice and qualifying, so I was like, all right, well, if I can keep the car clean, kind of the main goal there, and then the bottom really started working, and I figured, well, we might as well try something here and keep going with it. So, no, it was... like you said, dirt isn't my forte. Dirt isn't usually, every time I hear dirt mentioned, I kind of roll my eyes or whatever. But no, it was actually a really fun race. I decently enjoyed that one.
Does this mean maybe somewhere down the line there's a future for you to grab a U.S. Legend Cars and head out to Vado Speedway?
Well, see, again, coming from oval asphalt where you have 3 very distinct different driving vehicles and you got to drive them a certain way, and then coming to dirt where there's 15, 16 and all of them are, again, distinct, different. You've got to work with the track, work with the people around you. Maybe in the future, and I'm not talking near future, we're talking far, but if I get accustomed to it and get accustomed to, I guess, just the race or driving courtesies and everything, I think that's also one of my biggest weaknesses when it comes to dirt, is just knowing how to drive around people. Again, oval to dirt is vastly different, so asphalt to dirt is vastly different, so maybe in the future, but starting small is kind of where I want to be right now.
Well, all right, so we're trying this Legend thing out. Of course, I've been around Legend Cars for the last 8 years now in the real world. So I've been wanting to do this for a long time. We finally get a chance to do so as support races to some of the leagues that we're covering, in this case, Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. But, if we get a chance to kind of take this and do some standalone events, where would you want to take these Legend Cars?
Oh, man, I don't know if I'm the guy to ask. I don't know a lot of dirt tracks.
They can run anywhere. Oval, dirt oval, road, anything.
That's true. As far as the Legends, man, these things are a blast. I like it when it's banked, so if that helps narrow anything down. I've seen the Legends run on flat surfaces, like you just got done doing the live Charlotte, the summer shootout at Charlotte, so I don't know, just seeing the flat stuff, it isn't really what I go for. So if we can look for something with a little bit of banking, something that could kind of float these cars around a little bit, where you can run somewhere up high, down low, wherever it may be, maybe a little bit of banking. If I had to choose, probably a short track, probably 5 flags. I feel like these cars would really do wonders at 5 flags, but then again, I've never driven them at 5, but if I had to choose a track, I would go asphalt 5 flags is kind of where I would think these cars could really, really bring in some good racing.
Can we get you to run Sobo on Wednesday?
Possibility. I'll have to see what's going on. But that one's a possibility.
Well, just in case you do, good luck at Sobo.
I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you.
That's Zach Lindgren. Hopefully we're talking to him again soon. Of course, he's done plenty of broadcasting with us. That's the last time you would have heard his voice, actually, for the North American Racing League. So, Zach, glad to have you here tonight. And, hey, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. I appreciate the invite, and I enjoyed it. This was definitely a good change of pace.
A little something different here on a Friday night. That's Zach Lindgren. And we will go right on down to third. That's going to be Brady Moats this evening, who, of course, ran a couple of nights ago at Williams Grove. Did not have this kind of luck, though, Brady. What was different here at Cedar Lake, other than the fact that Josh didn't race?
Well, I guess it was that Josh didn't race. I mean, it's just a little more wide open, a little more, I guess, RNG, if you want to call it. Just trying to get up there in the marbles and run it and stay wide open. But still trying to figure out this legend car. It's very interesting, kind of a little bit refreshing to run it because it's just something new, something different I've never ran. But big open wheel guy, so I'm just kind of trying to get used to having fenders in the car. But all in all, it's been a blast. These past 2 nights have been great.
Yeah, I mean, this is a car that as I was just talking about with Zach. I mean, it's super versatile. You can run it literally on any kind of racetrack, even rallycross if you wanted to. So, talking with him, of course, he does not do this dirt thing very often. Kind of surprised actually that he finished second. He's usually an oval guy, sometimes some road course stuff. I mean, all of that's on the table. I've been very open, very honest about the fact that we just want to run legend racing here at Whiplash Racing League and Pit Stop TV and kind of combine it with the leagues we already have where we can collaborate, do some cool things. Of course, a big thank you to Brody Wilhelm for allowing us to run these races the last couple of broadcast days. But if you had the option to take these cars anywhere on the Big Bad iRacing sim, where would you want to go?
I mean, to intro these races like this, it would be fun to see them, just run like the mini ovals in front of like Texas or Charlotte or wherever. And I guess Atlanta has one as well. But the New Hampshire road course, I heard of that. That's pretty interesting. I've been hearing that about the legend car when we were talking about it the other day. And the other like smaller road courses and stuff would be very fun to run. Just love to see it. It'd be pretty interesting, honestly, like just to see how it perform and how good the racing would be. I'm sure it'd be very tight, very competitive. So.
Absolutely, I agree with all of that. I'm trying to tell Josh we need to run some of these in front of some Nora races on Monday nights. Could be a lot of fun. Maybe you could even work that somehow into the new pre-race show we're doing. But Brady, thanks for being here tonight. Genuinely, thanks to you and everybody who raced. And hopefully we're doing more of these in the future. Hopefully we're talking to you a lot more in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta give a shout out to my wife. Thank her for letting me come in and run these 2 nights. It's kind of off a little bit for me, and I know she's real big on the 2 night a week thing, but I appreciate her letting me come and run.
At the very least, at least she can be happy that it's only about an hour of your time versus 3-4 hours.
That's exactly right.
There you go, Brady. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We'll get right into our dirt sprint car coverage here in just a few. Of course, a big thank you again to all of these drivers running this evening. This is where it starts. This is how this kind of thing gets going, and this is laying the groundwork for what could be something very cool down the road. I think it's already very cool, but again, thank you to all of these guys for being here tonight. I'm excited for whatever happens next. Of course, South Boston on Wednesday. We'll be running a combo event with the Sarah National Tour. You do see some of the upcoming broadcasts here at Pit Stop TV across the channel there on your screen. Next up, we are headed to Chicagoland Speedway, actually, after tonight's events. That'll be for the Nora Retro Cup Series by Harpoon Design. That'll be Monday, June 22nd. I will be headed down to Charlotte Motor Speedway on Tuesday, June 23rd for Cookout Summer Shootout. And then Wednesday, that's where I'm talking about. We're running Legends again, this time at South Boston Speedway for the Sarah Oarsman Ford of Manassas National Tour race. That'll be the very first race of this brand new season for 2026. From there, we get back to some road racing. The North American Racing League, rather, NARL, will be taking their Porsche Cup cars for the first time in a couple of years out to Hockenheimring. This will be the beginning of season number 4 on the Porsche Cup side, season 13 of NARL racing as a whole. It has been a long time running now. We're working on about 5 years of partnership with Scott Reister and the North American Racing League. Glad to be here. Glad to be doing this sim racing broadcasting thing across all these different racing platforms, if you will. I mean, NASCAR Cup Cars Monday. We've got Legends and Late Model Stocks Wednesday. We've got Porsche Cup Cars on Thursday. And then Friday next week, we actually have the Steering Wheel Nation Truck Series at Nashville Super Speedway. So NASCAR Craftsman Trucks on Friday. And then next Sunday, we've also got the All-American Racing Network coming back to the channel for a race at Sonoma as we get into their summer stretch as they approach their own chase and playoff system later on this fall. So a lot going on, and certainly a lot to pay attention to and a lot to tune into here on Pit Stop TV. We've always got some kind of racing. Even if you go back, we've got over 1,000 broadcasts on demand that you can watch on YouTube, and just dive in and see what we've got to offer here at Pit Stop TV. We always love covering some sim racing any night of the week. We are going to step aside into kind of a break formation as we get ready for the dirt sprint cars to head to the racetrack. That will be coming up next. If you don't know what a dirt sprint car is, well, let's take a look at the 410 winged sprint car. This is the World of Outlaws sprint car, basically. So if you hear that name across the dirt racing world at all, World of Outlaws, these are the cars they race. In their top tier sprint car series, and they are a hoot. They're a ton of fun. They are also very difficult to drive. They are not easy whatsoever. That said, I think they're going to be easier tonight than we saw a couple of nights ago at Williams Grove. That was a pretty challenging race for sure for those guys in the wingless cars, since not only was that track very difficult, but those cars without the wings on top and on the nose that you see there in the picture of the car, that takes all the downforce away. It makes it very hard to drive these things quickly and effectively. So I think these drivers will certainly be happy to have the wings back on this evening and going much faster around Cedar Lake than they would be if they didn't have the wings on the cars. Certainly a big contrast to what we just saw with Legends. I mean, 800 more horsepower nearly. So a big jump up there. We don't have any drivers doing the switch from Legends into sprint cars tonight. Hopefully we have that soon, but the track is opening up here in a moment. We will take a step aside and get ready for some dirt sprint car racing here on Pit Stop TV for the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. Again, a big thank you goes out to all of our partners here at the channel, but specifically I want to highlight Brody Wilhelm and the DSCCS allowing us to have this kind of exhibition support race ahead of their big 410 race for the evening. It'll also be the final Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series race of the summer until we come back in September. I believe September 9th is the date that we're looking at coming back from summer vacation. So it's going to be a little while until we have dirt racing back on the channel. I think it's going to be a summer of some pavement racing, both on oval and road, and then we'll get back to dirt racing this fall with a handful of events, I should say, scheduled ahead for the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. So with that, I'll take a brief step aside and get ready. 410's on the way. Don't go anywhere. And just like that, welcome back to the virtual Cedar Lake Speedway. I do need to do some brief work on the back end just to make sure we have the correct cars as they need to be in timing and scoring, but I can at least talk to you guys as practice is opening up and qualifying is on the way. We've got a little bit of time here before we actually get to that point, but once again, I do want to give a big thank you to all the partners. You saw them on screen briefly. Whiplash SimCams, Whiplash Creative. I know I'm a little out of order here. ATVO, MX Wraps, a big help to us here at Pit Stop TV. So CC's Business, Murtis Esports, for example. Always love working with Zach Murtis. He'll be a part of things going forward as he has been for a couple of years now at Pit Stop TV. And a big thank you once again, of course, to the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series having us here this evening, not just to cover the 410 race, but as we saw a little bit ago, the Legends race as well that we hosted here at Pit Stop TV through the Whiplash Racing League. There's more on the way as well on the WRL side with Matt Vorendran, Brady Motes, Zach Murtis, and some others involved. We'll be talking about that soon. Very, very soon. For now, the focus, though, is Cedar Lake Speedway. We are reloading the graphics. I can tell you this is the same formula as we've had. There's really no big changes. We're going racing 410 sprint cars. This time at Cedar Lake this evening, a 3/8 mile racetrack as we saw a little bit ago. The pit lane on the outside of turns 1 and 2 really won't be in use very much this evening, but should we have to send a car out there, it can be a little bit challenging to get out of cleanly. It's mostly easy to get onto without too much issue, but should these drivers need to get out of it and get back on the racetrack, that's where things get tricky in order to do so without causing a caution. That can be a bit of a trick here on iRacing. So let's go ahead. There we go. Get some graphics back on screen and talk about this racetrack. Again, this place is very, very cool. I really like it no matter what car we bring here. We just have Legends, we've got sprint cars, we've done modifieds here in the past. I really do like this place. You see 3/8 of a mile. The pit speed is pretty slow, but from 12 cars and a whole 85 spectators at its very first race in 1957, Cedar Lake has blossomed into a top-tier dirt racing venue up in New Richmond, Wisconsin, hosting World of Outlaws and several other events throughout the course of each and every year. And of course, as mentioned, these 410 sprint cars put down a whole lot of power, 900 horsepower just about in these cars, 717 foot-pounds of torque, and they can adjust these cars. We had fixed setups in the Legends a little bit ago. They could run their own custom setups or setup shop setups or whatever they want to here this evening in the sprint cars, and they can also adjust the wing angle as they wish, at least the top wing angle. And boy, they are going way faster. I do mean way faster than those Legend cars. You can see, I mean, here's a look at Brady Baldwin out of Australia in the number 7. He is ripping around here. He's got Sid speed there on the car. Good to see them. It's going high in 1 and 2, low in 3 and 4. These guys are absolutely flying around this racetrack right now. And Mike Augustine, a little bit faster. He is in second currently in practice. His qualifying is on the way. Stahl is first. Simons, Casey Simons is in this practice group. He is third quick so far. There you see Dustin Sargent as well in the 5th position. You saw briefly in the background Tanner Pettit left out of the wingless race on Wednesday a little bit early. Hopefully he has better luck this evening with the winged car again. Of course, he opened 2026, at least our portion of 2026 here with the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series with a couple of big wins. Has been winless for about a month, I think, so it's been a little while since he's won one of these races, but his team is always fast. As you look there at Miles Jansen in the number 35, Logan Wink in the number 70. Just kind of bobbing around the field, seeing what we've got and who we can look at. How about Kellen Sabo in the number 2, running a Kyle Larson paint scheme. Hopefully that brings him some good luck as he goes down out of the tires there in turns 1 and 2. Look at some other cars. The other practice group of the field, Aiden Stull. We've also got Kenny Hoffman out there in the pink number 1. Good to see him back this evening. He's going to take a big hit there on the inside. A big roll. Thankfully, it's just practice. Bryce Hausenstein in the number 84. That's a fun name to say. Hauenstein, not Hausenstein, Hauenstein. I like that. Bryce Hauenstein. Got to get that one figured out mentally. He is 21st quick so far. That would put him in the show if we were going on practice alone. But these guys will go through a bit of a heat race format. A quick look at that. Whiplash Simcam's race details there on screen. Up to 6 8-lap heats based on the car count so far, 25 cars. I believe this will split us into 3 heats. 3 will advance from each. That's the transfer. 3 cars from each. And then the rest will go into the B main. And tonight it looks like we will need it. We did not need it on Wednesday with the wingless cars. We'll need it here with the winged cars at Cedar Lake, though. As we are at 25 entries so far. 22 will make it. 3 are going home. Open setup. Green flag laps only, meaning the yellow flag laps will not count. Here's a look at Spencer Putney in the number 17. Brody Duscher in the number 20. He goes up and over the wall there at turns 1 and 2 into the pit lane. Hopefully we don't see anybody do that in race conditions. That would certainly be suboptimal. And that will just about do it for practice. That'll take us into tonight's qualifying session. No Zach Murtis with us this evening. He is out at a wedding. Imagine that. Do we have Millwane in the... We do. Ethan Millwane. He's in the field tonight. Okay, I see YouTube chat. I'm taking a look over there. Good to know we've got a Millwane fan out in the chat. We'll talk about him a little bit as it seems fit. But there you see the Cedar Lake Speedway qualifying opening up. Let's start out by riding on board, I should say, with one of these drivers. This is Logan Wenk in the number 70. Here we go. Buckle up. Looks like his car is not handling quite right. Let's go up. Let's grab Cole Ferguson here in the number 23. Let's see how he does here in qualifying. Uh-oh. Don't want to hit those tires. We saw that in the Legends race, and Ferguson in trouble. He'll go up and over in qualifying. He'll get a chance to redo it. Let's go on board then with Hauenstein. He looked good in practice. See, just trying to hold the car as straight as you can, but also as sideways as you can. You don't want to get too sideways, just like the Legends car. You don't want to get too sideways. You want just enough to help the car rotate, but you want to keep those front wheels as straight as you can to fire down the straightaway. Aiden Stull goes fastest so far in qualifying. Hauenstein, we just watched that lap. He goes up to the top of the board. He's unseated, though, by Brady Baldwin out of Australia. Good to see the number 7 on top. Brody Duscher goes 4th quick in the EPI number 35. Mike Augustine, he's going to go 4th quick. Now 5th. 6th. Kellen Sabo to the top in the number 57 car. Everybody going fast. Aiden Forster's out there in the number 20. Let's see what he's got. Avila goes to the top. 15 seconds to go nearly. Forster's got to get a lap in quick. It will not be very good. 14th. Anthony Villagran out in the 22. He's going to go 9th his first lap, it looks like. He's on lap 2 now. Can he get back to the line? It'll be a buzzer beater. Can Villagran get there? Yes, barely. Is it any faster? The answer is no. He'll stay 9th place. That should put him 3rd in heat number 3. It happens that fast. Qualifying over. We're into our heat races. Looks like we'll have 9, 8, and 8. That'll give us 25 here this evening. So 3 heats, as mentioned. 3 will transfer into the feature directly from this heat race. On pole for heat number 1, Ryan Avila in that number 49. Bryce Hauenstein over his right shoulder. A pro license and an A license there on row number 1. Back at row 2, Clayton Davies out of Australia. He will start from 3rd. Brody Duscher from the United States in 4th. I didn't check how the World Cup game went earlier, but I did see it was US versus Australia. I wonder if there's any of that spilling into the dirt racing here this evening. Matthew Croak, Casey Simons, a couple of Canadians in row number 3, followed up closely by Ross Carenta and Tony Dominguez. And finally, Cole Ferguson at the back end of the field. 9 cars ready to go. It'll be an 8-lap heat race. Just 8 laps to get it done. Not a lot of time. You've got to be quick on the loud pedal, quick on the steering wheel. Elbows out as Avila joins the pacing field, and we will get rolling here this evening. As we get ready to do so, I do want to go through some of our Whiplash SimCam's onboard cameras. First up, Ryan Avila there with the front bumper camera. You can see just looking right over the front bumper bar, and in contrast, here's a look from Bryce Howenstein off of the fuel cell at the back of the car, looking over those bumper bars. Clayton Davies, let's take a look at just the classic kind of roof camera. Obviously this car doesn't have a roof, but this is mounted above the crossbars above the driver's head. You're kind of looking out just underneath the wing. This is a really cool view with the wingless car, but with the wing car, it kind of gets in the way. That is, of course, unless these guys crash and take the wing off. How about Rody Duscher? Let's look over the left side of the driver. Matthew Croak, we can take a look back from the left side of the driver. For Casey Simons, we can take a look at the driver's eye POV. For Ross Carinta, this is over the right side of the race car. For Tony Dominguez, looking back over the right side of the race car. We're going to go racing this evening. Heat number 1, ready to go. 8 laps the distance into the start zone. Ryan Avila gets us racing at Cedar Lake Speedway. Heat 1 underway. 3 wide already, turns 1 and 2. I like to lay back for lap 1, but the action right to it as we've got a slider already. Lap 1, Davies goes for it. He'll fall back. We are electric here at Cedar Lake, my goodness. In the wall, Davies up top. He's going to fall back. 3 wide. There goes Carinta through the middle. He's trying to get after a transfer spot. He'll be 4th on the backstretch. To the inside of him goes Croak. In the wall goes Howenstein. He's going to fall out of a transfer. Into the transfer then is Simons, the number 9. Carinta, Croak, Howenstein. That's the battle you're watching on screen. These guys are the first 3 out. Leading the race, Avila is absolutely gone. 3 to go, this time by for race leader Ryan Avila. Duscher 2nd, Simons 3rd, 4th place. That's where you finally find Ross Carinta in that number 10. He's closely followed by the number 2, who grabs the wall. They're off of turn number 2. 2 to go, this time by. Laps are clicking off quick, about 10 seconds apiece. I don't think we're having any changes for the transfer spots. Carinta too far back, Croak with him. White flag is in the air, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Final time around for Ryan Avila, and he will transfer right on into the feature with the Heat 1 win, followed by Duscher and Simons. Davies the first out. Then Carinta, Croak, Howenstein, Ferguson, and Dominguez. The rest of your Heat 1 results. And just like that, Heat 1 is in the books. Heat 2 on the way. 8 cars, 8 laps in heat race number 2. Take a look at your starting grid. On pole, Brady Baldwin. Another Australia inside, United States outside row, Aiden Stahl. We'll begin heat race number 2 over his right shoulder. Row number 3 gives us Kenny Hoffman and Connor Dudek in the number 21. Back in row 3, however, Miles Jansen and Ethan Milwain out of Canada. Good to see him in the field. I know the fan club will like that. Scott Thomason in 7th, Joseph Groom in 6th. It's 8th. I don't know why I said 6th there. I'm looking at the 66. I guess it just got on my brain. A couple of drivers we've not seen before in the field tonight. Brady Baldwin, one of them. The other big one, Ethan Milwain. Of course, we had one of you watching out there rooting him on. The Goodfellas Sim Racing, number 37. We'll see what he can do here in heat race number 3. He's got his work cut out for him. Heat race number 2, rather. He's got his work cut out for him. He's got to go up 3 spots. That's what I was trying to think of. He's got to go up 3 spots to get into one of these transfer positions, 3rd or better. to make it straight on into the feature. And sure, hope is not lost if he doesn't do that. You can go through the B main, but you certainly don't want to have to do that. That's just extra stress that a driver doesn't need on race night. We'll turn the music down, turn the engines up. Here we go. 8 laps, heat race number 2. Slow into the start zone. There they go. Heat 2 underway at Cedar Lake. Into the wall, ready, 1 up and over. That is Dudek out of the park in turns 1 and 2. He is gone and out of here. Across the line, though, it is Baldwin still leading. Stull and Hoffman second and third. Miles Jansen to the inside. That's going to be a fun battle for the 4th spot, 3rd and 4th spot. Thomas and Milwane side by side. I told you Milwane had some work to do. That's 1 spot of 3. He needs to grab more in the wall. Hoffman in the wall. And that's Milwane into the side of Jansen, who's around. That should be a caution, I think. No yellow. So Jansen, he's got no front wing. He's going to sink down the field. Baldwin leading, Stull second, Hoffman third. Things have changed in a hurry here in heat race number 2. Milwane, he's trying to get by Thomason, but he's got the battle scars all up and down the right side of that car from the contact there with Jansen. 3 to go already in heat race number 2. I think these two are destined to keep fighting for that 4th spot, but I'm not so sure either one is going to get up to 3rd as Baldwin pulls away. Stull goes fastest. 2 laps to go in heat race number 2. In the wall goes Baldwin. Stull right on him. Final time around is going to get exciting here for heat 2. Can Stull throw a slider or something? He's lower into 1, gets alongside briefly, but he has no momentum down here for turn 3. Baldwin covers it up. And to the start-finish line, it will be Baldwin winning heat number 2 and advancing straight into the feature. He'll bring Stull and Hoffman along with Milwane and Thomason round out the field of drivers that finished the race. Finishing, or rather not finishing, 6th, 7th, and 8th, you'll find Groom, Jansen, and Dudek. We saw Dudek up and over the wall out of the park on lap 1. He will have to come through the B main, and that is always a challenge, especially when you didn't really get a whole lot of heat race time in for the driver and the car. That's a whole lot more unknowns for driver number 21. Heat race 3 on deck. Kellen Sabo going to lead us to the green flag here. Mike Augustine over his right shoulder. A-class inside, pro class on the outside. Row 2, 3rd spot. Anthony Villagrand rode on board with him briefly a little while ago. Tanner Pettit, he's got some work to do. He will not begin this heat race from a transfer spot. Row number 3 gives us Aiden Forster and Spencer Putney. And to complete your heat number 3 field, Dustin Sargent and Logan Wink. Might be Wink, I'm not sure. If somebody has clarification on Logan's name, I certainly strive to get them all right. I'm decent with phonetics, I think, usually, but there are times where I need a little bit of help. As always, a big thank you to Brody Wilhelm for having us here this evening. Also, a big thank you to our partners here at Pitstop TV, Whiplash SimCams, MX Raps, ATVO, Murders Esports, CC's Business, the North American Racing League, Whiplash Creative, and TZO Designs. We will, of course, run our Driver of the Day vote during the feature race. Keep an eye out for that if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on another platform, it might be the time to get over there and make sure that you can vote in tonight's North American Racing League Driver of the Day vote. Here we go. Heat race 3 coming to the green. Kellen Sabo gets the green flag. We're racing again at Cedar Lake. To the inside, big slide job from Augustine. He's going to get crossed up. Sabo back to the inside. Sabo throws the slider into turn 1. He gets clear. Augustine rips the top. He turns him. Big crash for the 57 car. He will keep rolling, no caution. But Sabo absolutely done and dusted. Pettit straight through to the lead. Augustine now second. Forster in third. That's not going to sit well with the driver, the number 2, and certainly it shouldn't. Now, we know Augustine didn't mean to do that, but He sure did it still. As he gets the wall there, Forster to the inside. Augustine going to get passed up. Almost gets into Forster off of turn number 2. He's going to cut it low now. He goes for the slider. Forster crosses him over. Now Forster sends it down low. Slide job from the 20 car. Slider complete. And Tanner Pettit is already in that lap traffic. He's going to put a lap there on Logan Wink. And the 70 will fall back even farther. 2 to go. Heat race number 3. Forster squarely in second. Third place, of course, still going to Augustine. Fourth, contacted in the wall. Putney and Villagran. As we are on to the white flag lap, brought to you by Whiplash SimCam's final time around for driver 24. Tanner Pettit may not have had good luck on Wednesday in the wingless car, but throw a wing back on it. He's fast once again. Checkered flag, heat race 3. Pettit, Forster, Augustine, your top 3. They'll transfer on. Putney, Villagran, Sargent, Sabo, and Wink. We'll have to go through the B main. I do hate that dearly for Kellen Sabo, who started that heat race from pole position. Of course, got shoved out of the way by Mike Augustine in some incidental contact, and certainly will set the number 2 car back a good ways as we approach our B main event. Here we go. Clayton Davies will be on pole, waiting on a couple of cars to grid up. And we're starting to get some of them. Of course, they've got to set their fuel number, their fuel level for these races. They'll run a lot less fuel in qualifying, a little more in the heat, and even more in the B main, and a whole lot more in the feature. On pole for our B main event, we will take, I believe, 13 cars. On pole, Clayton Davies alongside the Canadian Ethan Milwane. That's your front row as we get ready for our B main, 10 laps the distance. Back in row 2, Spencer Putney, Ross Carenta, followed closely by Scott Thomason and Anthony Villagran. Starting 7th this evening, Matthew Croak in the number 6 alongside Joseph Groom in the number 11. And finally, Dustin Sargent and Bryce Howenstein are out at your top 10. A little farther back, 11th spot, but still starting within a transfer, Miles Jansen and Kellen Sabo, followed up by Cole Ferguson, who begins this B main from the final transfer position. Connor Dudek from 14th, and finally Logan Wink and Tony Dominguez in 15th and 16th, row number 8 on the field. I want to say briefly, before we get this B main underway, if you have not yet, Toy Story 5 just came out overnight. Went to see it today. Don't worry, no spoilers. Not going to spoil anything for anybody. Not going to talk about what happened. But it was a very good movie. I got to be honest. If you got kids, now's the time to go. Maybe a Saturday matinee, who knows? We'll send 16 of them loose here for B main activities. 10 laps, 13 transfer. Here we go. Green flag in the B main at Cedar Lake. You see the mad dash into turn 1 there, rather. I mean, 4 wide off the second corner. They are going crazy in the mid-pack. Guys, you're all in transfer spots. Caution is out. These guys might not be, though. Joseph Groom, Logan Wink, and Bryce Howenstein. Oh, dearie me. The 84 in trouble. That car looks like it has seen better days. He's going to try to pull it to the pit lane. He will eventually bail out. As one car did go to the pits, that's Joseph Groom. Typically the rule is if you go to the pit lane, you are done. Not sure if Groom will be able to get back in this race or not. Want to go back and get a look at what happened. This is Groom on the start, along with Howenstein there on the 84. That was that 4 wide, and that 4 wide led to contact, and they just got in a little too sideways into 1 and 2. And there you saw the contact actually for Howenstein off of turn 2, and Wink was just kind of innocent bystander and all of that. I want to get another look, though, at the incident there for Hauenstein in the 84. That was a massive hit to the outside wall. Up the racetrack he went there with contact and up and over briefly, able to land back on all fours, but what a big hit to that outside wall. That explains why he was looking for help in the pit lane. Green flag back on the way. We are racing again in the B. It happens quick. Looking some laps off now. 3 complete. We're on lap 4. Davies the race leader. Putney, Milwane, Thomason your top 4. Again, guys, let's remember you're all in a transfer spot. No need to race too hectic. Just don't be one of the final 3 to the start-finish line after lap 10. And caution's out, trouble there across the stripe. I think that was Jansen in the wall, but problems for Logan Wink in the number 70. He has taken it behind the wall, presumably the reason for this caution, and yes, he was. Here's a look at it. Seemed kind of on his own, and he's managing, I can tell that's a controller setup, so he does not have the same wheel and pedal situation. He pulled a wheelie there on the front straightaway, shut it down, and came to a stop there on the inside. So I think Logan might be going back to the drawing board there on that situation and trying to get ready for the next one, as Clayton Davies will continue to lead us here at Cedar Lake Speedway. We'll have 3 to go at the drop of the green flag. And no dice on that start. We'll stay caution a little bit longer. Now 2 cars are on the outside looking in. Those are Hauenstein and Groom. Logan has called it a day in that number 70. Again, it's going to be a little while before these guys are back on track. In fact, we're looking at early September for the next time these guys will be racing. That will be at Kokomo, Indiana. Green flag on the way. It's still the number 10 of Davies out front. Green flag, 3 to go in the B main. Two more times around the Cedar Lake Speedway. The transfer spot is down here at 13th. We actually might have a race here. The 18 is in trouble. That is Tony Dominguez. To the inside goes Hauenstein. This is the battle to get into the race. Everybody ahead of this is in. These guys are fighting for the final spot. One more time around. Can Hauenstein get there? On board with the number 84. One is slow down low. That's an opportunity for Dominguez. Contacted at 3. Dominguez has trouble. Hauenstein at the wall. Underneath. Who's going to get the final spot? Drag race back. It's, I think, Hauenstein. Yes, it is. Bryce will move on. That sends Scott Thomason out of the field. All of that drama on the final lap to solidify our racing field for our A main. We get a quick warm-up session and an opportunity to look back at that, because that was chaotic, to say the least. Let's go back. Watch the 18 here, Tony Dominguez. He's going to get into Scott Thomason into turn 3, who was working off the bottom of the racetrack. There's the contact into the wall, and that allowed Joseph Groom to go right on through as well. He was just kind of in the midst of all that, saved by the bell. He was eliminated going into that final lap and got back into it. Here's the issue for the 66. It's a little bit late, but you can tell he's working on a controller as well with how twitchy those controls are. This is into turns 1 and 2. You see Thomason a little too loose, over-rotated, and Got that tap from the 2 car as well, then tries to get back going here, and that didn't work very well. Got up into the 18, then got hit by the 84, and everybody else able to transfer. Thomason will go home. And so into our warm-up session. There you see cars around the racetrack. Here's a look at times as well on the left side of your screen. The drivers that are opting to run laps. As we get ready for 35 laps of feature racing to close out the night here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Again, a big thank you to all of you watching, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or even TikTok, I believe is active. I should probably go fire up the TikTok live viewer. I suppose that would be a smart idea, but glad to have you all watching along this evening. It has been a pleasure as always here tonight at Cedar Lake Speedway. A big thank you as well to our partners with the channel, Whiplash Simcams, MX Wraps, ATVO, Murtis Esports, CC's Business, the North American Racing League, Whiplash Creative, and TZO Designs as we get ready to go for 35 laps this evening at Cedar Lake Speedway. What a brilliant little racetrack this is, 3/8 of a mile. And it has been a bunch of fun tonight. And hey, I'm looking over at TikTok. We are live over there. Thanks for watching. It is good to see you all here tonight. We're still new to this TikTok thing. I'm going to be straight honest with you all. So please do follow. Check out our other content on the channel. And check out our YouTube as well. That's where we primarily broadcast. We're happy to start including TikTok. But YouTube is kind of the bread and butter. That's also where you can vote for the driver of the day. Here we go, feature race time. On pole, Ryan Avila. He won his heat race. He will start from the front alongside Brady Baldwin. A couple of really talented drivers here at the front of the field, followed by a couple more really talented drivers, Tanner Pettit and Brody Duscher there. Really high I ratings, especially for Pettit, 10,600. That is the second highest, if you can believe it. We've got a bigger one coming here on the next page. Aiden Forster, 10,700, as he starts alongside Aiden Stull, who will start in 5th. Back in row 4, Casey Simons, Kenny Hoffman, that is row number 4, followed up closely by row 5. That's Mike Augustine and Clayton Davies. Starting 11th this evening at Cedar Lake, it's Spencer Potney, followed by Ethan Millane. An opportunity to go from kind of midfield up if he's able to put things together. Back in 13th spot, Anthony Villagran alongside Miles Jansen. 15th and 16th, Ross Carenta and Dustin Sargent. 17th and 18th, you'll get Matthew Croak and Connor Dudek. In your final couple of rows, I should say, Kellen Sabo and Tony Dominguez, followed by Joseph Groom and Bryce Howenstein. Once again, thanks for being here this evening. I'm excited. The sun has gone down a little bit. Some late evening racing at the virtual Cedar Lake Speedway. 35 laps the distance. Sit tight. Grab your popcorn. Here we go. Green flag in New Richmond, Wisconsin. We're racing again in the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. Contact, one of the wall. That's Duscher going backwards. He is tumbling around. Caution is out. The pinball wizard has got a broken race car. He's out. Realistically, he's out. Let's go back and see what happened. This is lap 1 coming to the start of the race. He's going to get tossed around like a salad down here in 3 and 4. Oh, it was netcode off of Pettit's car. That's difficult. Well, you can't really even blame a guy. It's just the sim, unfortunately, having some imperfections. And I struggle to even put that on the sim. Frankly, it comes down to the driver's connections. But it happens a lot in these open-wheel cars that pull really high speeds around corners, whether it's on asphalt, pavement, or even road. Or asphalt dirt, or even road, I should say. You see a couple other cars getting involved there through turns 3 and 4. I couldn't quite tell who each of them were, but let's take another look at this. And you'll be able to pick out your favorite driver if they got through or if they got involved. I know at least one viewer's got the popcorn this evening. I guess a couple, technically. Kayla watching with our son Drew. We took him to see Toy Story today, and he has been all over the high-tech Buzz bucket, as I think that was an attempt to go green that was immediately called off. So we're back under control of the iRacing.com pace truck. And we'll try this over again, as Ryan Avila is still your race leader. Yeah, I think that was an attempt to restart that got called off at the last second. They can do that here. The pace truck at Cedar Lake pulls off in turn 1 after the green. It's a little weird. So you see he gets a gap that the pace truck does here, and on board with Avila, you can see that pace truck is long gone in the corner, so it's going to pull off. You see it starting to pick up some speed. Meanwhile, let's go green here with Avila at the front of the field. 1 lap complete, 34 to go. Trouble in the back. Bryce Hausenstein in trouble, but we stay green. At the front, Ryan Avila leads down the back straightaway. Kind of solely in control of this race. Nobody near him. Baldwin is the nearest. And it's a gap for that first position. Oh, in trouble maybe down the back straightaway. That was second, I think. Baldwin and Pettit side by side into turn 3. Pettit slams him in the wall. Baldwin, that car is hurt. I'll be surprised if he gets back into the top 5. He's in the wall. He has got trouble. The Australian has been shown the American way. He's going to pull down to the inside. And Tanner Pettit continues on. He's now going to pull down low. He realizes his car is injured. Caution is out now. As you see the melee in the back, Connor Dudek in trouble in the number 21. He was out of the park earlier in his heat race, and now the feature will hold him back as well. Here's a look down the back straightaway. Just absolutely gets wiped out. Oh my gosh, the pirouettes. Looking like a professional dancer in turn 3, and that's not how you want to look when you're in a race car. Let's go back to that situation with Pettit if we can. Pettit and Baldwin here. So Baldwin got the wall, I think, or got slowed up, maybe? You see Pettit closing in. Baldwin, I think it's the wall right here. Yep, in 1 and 2. And then down in 3 and 4. I'm really not sure where they were going, and Pettit just feeds the right rear there to Baldwin, who then gets hit on the way by, I believe, by Forster. And that was just a bad situation for all involved. Certainly, I don't want to put anything on Pettit intentionally there. They're just racing, but boy, it was a couple of aggressive moves to only be in the first 5 laps, that's for sure. We'll try this thing again, it looks like, as Avila brings the field around turns 3 and 4 nice and tidy. Green flag down the banking he goes. Let's try this again. You see the entire field working by our speed shot on the front stretch. Avila's got the lead, Stull second, then Forster in third. And they have pulled well away from Kenny Hoffman and company. Kellen Sabo is in the 5th spot. Where did Kellen start? It was deep, right? Yeah, 19th. He is an easy early consideration for driver of the day. If Kellen can keep this together, boy, what a run this could be. 19th, up 14 spots into 5th. Caution is out again. This time, Anthony Villagran looks to be in trouble. And we will get a look back at what happened to the driver of the number 22. Racing here, that's the 10 on the inside. There's a couple of 10 cars, so I'm not entirely sure which one that is. There were 3 wide with Sargent on the outside, and Villagran just got in deep into turn 1 and kind of lost where he was maybe on the racetrack, got in the wall pretty hard. So Avila continues on. If you're new here to what we do at Bitstop TV, we've got a partnership with the North American Racing League to have a driver of the day vote in each broadcast we do. And so I'll be nominating 4 drivers that I feel like have made an impact in tonight's race. Certainly an early look would go to Kellen Sabo in that number 2 or 57, however you want to look at it, as he has gone up 14 spots so far, could even grab a couple more. And this time not this time, I guess the next time around we'll have 10 complete, 25 to go, it looks like, as Ryan Avila gives a gap there to the pace truck, who actually I think still has the lights on. And let me see, here's the pace truck, lights are off, so we'll go racing this time by. Avila brings it around town, turns 3 and 4, green flag, 10 down, 25 to go. Topside hustling for the entire top 5 as they retain their positions from the restart. The battle is on from 6th on back. In fact, actually, even for 4th. Hoffman, slider there on Sabo, who parks it, turns underneath the 1 car. Great battle here for this 4th position. These guys are doing it right. There goes Sabo on through. Hoffman going to have a look at a turn 3. He'll send it back down from the attic to the basement. Crossover now from Sabo. He gets back ahead into turn 1 this time, and they'll stay in line on the top side. Behind them, Casey Simons in 6th, Spencer Putney on the outside of him. This is the battle 4th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and on back. Putney gets through on the middle, but here comes on the top side, Croak. Croak in the Busch Light Machine, working the very top of the racetrack, pushing the cushion. Maybe gets around Simons, maybe gets around Putney this time in 3 and 4. He's looking, and he is gone down the front stretch. Croak has got the 6th position now. Really good racing in the midfield as they get single file from 6th on back. Back to the front, Avila's got company and some lap cars up the road. Howenstein, that car ahead, as it's Avila, Stahl, and Forster, your top 3. Stahl is very, very close, within a car length at one point in 1 and 2 that time. Halfway down, halfway to go. Cross flags that last time by the flag stand. There he goes, to the inside goes Stahl, slide job in 1. Avila backs it up to run the crossover. Back to the inside goes the 49, he tries to get the lead, he's not far enough ahead. Stahl gonna power away down the front straightaway. Aiden Stahl to the lead at Cedar Lake, but he's in that lap traffic, can he get through it? Right in front of him, that's Joseph Groom, slider on the lap car. Worked out perfectly for the 72, and he is starting to work up a gap. Ladies and gentlemen, you should not be tuning out just yet. We have got ourselves a heater on the way. Inside of 15 to go. Stahl working through the lap traffic. Next one up is Simons. We are into the top 10 as far as lapping these guys. The top end of the field, oh so good as Stahl continues to work through it. There's the slider on the lap car. Now he's going to look up at the 47. I believe that's Jansen. And the lead is about a quarter second apart. Avila's right back on Stahl this time. This race far from over at Cedar Lake Speedway. Avila working the outside lane. Here comes Forster for second. If your friends aren't watching, they should be. Share the link, get them tuned in. The top 3 all in a line on the top side of the racetrack. 10 to go, that last time by. Stahl, Avila, Forster, Sabo, Hoffman, the top 5, but it's really the top 3. Down the racetrack goes the 17. That is Putney. He's a lap down as these guys continue on. Avila putting the pressure right back on the number 7 of Stahl. Down to the inside, slide job attempt from Avila, not there. Slides right back in behind Stahl. Is that the move that puts the final nail in the coffin for Avila? No, caution's out. That's going to save a Villa, put him back in the race. 3 cars in trouble in turns 3 and 4. The leaders snake their way through, and Ethan Milwain is one of them. Another seems to be Groom. Another may have been Howenstein, maybe also Dominguez. Just based on timing and scoring. Let's go back and see here. I think the other was actually Simons. So here's the incident. Around the outside goes the 57. Contact there. Oh. That I guess was not Jansen, the other car. I'm trying to think. Trying to put the names together. I guess. Oh, that was Sabo, wasn't it? Sabo was the lead lap car trying to get through all of that. Here's another look at it. So Sabo is the white car. He's working on the outside. Milwain is 1 lap down. Simons, I believe, is 2 on the inside. So they're all in different laps, and Milwain just comes up and gets Sabo in the side. Thankfully, Kellen able to continue on. He'll stay in the race, but does have that bit of damage now as he's going to line up 4th for this restart. I'm going to put that driver of the day up, the poll up on YouTube here briefly. Kellen Saba will be in it. Really, it's the top 4. Here we go. Restart on the way at Cedar Lake Speedway. 6 to go. Who's going to win it? $100 on the line. Aiden Stoll leads through turns 1 and 2. 5 to go when we get back to the stripe. Who's got it in them? Nose to tail. Here comes Avila looking for the race lead once again. He gets in the wall. Stoll pulls away. 4 to go. Forrester, Sabo, Hoffman keeping these leaders honest. In the wall. Stoll checked up just a little bit. 3 to go. Here comes Avila on the inside. Pulls the slider. Crossover now from Stoll. He's back to the inside. Leaves the teammates to figure it out. To the inside now comes Avila. 2 to go across the stripe. Popsicle sticks in the air. Less than a mile of racing left at Cedar Lake Speedway. To the white flag. Stoll's going to have it. Can he keep it? White flag is out. Brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. There's the slider. Avila down on the inside. Can't complete it. Aiden Stoll uncontested down in turns 3 and 4. And he is going to win $100 at virtual Cedar Lake Speedway. Aiden Stoll to victory lane. Unbelievable race out of Aiden Stoll. The TPR teammates go 2nd and 3rd. Brilliant job, though, by the number 72. Aiden Stoll grabs the win. We'll be talking to your whole top 3 here shortly. We'll first take a look at your unofficial race results. Golly, that was some good dirt racing. Bear with me while I grab the unofficial race results. Of course, Aiden Stoll with the win. Let's take a look at it. Aiden Forster, the Aidens up top. Ryan Avila goes 3rd. Kellen Sabo, Kenny Hoffman, your top 5. Clayton Davies, a good run for him. He'll go 6th. Matthew Crokin, 7th. Miles Jansen, Spencer Putney, and Tony Dominguez, your top 10. 4 of those drivers 1 lap down. Only your top 6 remained on the lead lap. That green flag run we had through the middle of the race really shook things up. In 11th, there'll be Casey Simons, followed by Ethan Milwain and Joseph Groom. Those are the 13 cars that made it back to the checkered flag. Howenstein, Sargent, Villagrand, Pettit, Duscher, Carenta, and Dudek all out early, followed by Baldwin and Augustine. Your race winner this evening, Aiden Stoll. We've called your name a lot, Aiden, not yet as a race winner. How good does that feel to get it done over all those TPR cars breathing down your neck?
Feels really good, honestly. Just them last, like, 20 laps, I was honestly just shaking. My heart was out of my chest. I was struggling. Mike Augustine just trying to help me out there, but I just couldn't keep my composure. I just tried to run the best laps I could, but I mean, it felt like I didn't do as good as I could have, but still got the W. And good race to Ryan, Aiden, all of them TPR guys. They raced me clean. Just can't thank all them guys enough.
I was gonna say, didn't run the race you should have. I mean, you won the race, $100. That's gonna line the pockets nicely, at least. I mean, you can grab some new tracks or whatever on iRacing. That'll keep you on the sim a little bit longer at the very least, right? So, you know, how did you get to this point, though? Of course, who helps you? Who, I guess, sets the car up for you? You mentioned Augustine trying to help you out a little bit once he was out of the race. I mean, those TPR guys, there are many of them, right? 5 or 6 each race we run here. And Tanner's obviously always a threat. He ended up out early, but that still left Forster and Avila breathing in your neck, especially trading sliders with Avila. So I guess my question, go backwards a little bit here, who helps you with the setup side, and how did you hang on through all those slide jobs and crossovers with Ryan Avila?
Just Mike Augustine and Carson Jenkins, all respect towards them for helping me out with setup and even just spotting, honestly. Appreciate Mike and Jenkins for doing all that, and yeah.
It was a whole lot of fun to watch, an opportunity to maybe go, you know, you're going to defend actually for probably the longest stint that anybody has since this league came back from hiatus, because we're not racing through July or August. So now you get to kind of focus up on all your other leagues and what have you throughout the week until we get to September and we go to Kokomo. That's a tiny little racetrack. Coming back from a break like that, that's going to be chaotic. Can you run it back at Kokomo, though?
Honestly, probably not. I'd suck at that place, but that's the same way that I thought about here. But it's not really that I suck here, but it's just I just really couldn't keep the car straight and I was out of control.
I feel like that's just any lap at Cedar Lake, but hey, Aiden, good to talk to you. Congratulations. You are currently tied. There aren't a ton of votes yet. We can certainly pump those numbers up, but over on YouTube in the Driver of the Day vote, you are currently tied with Kellen Sabo. Let's see how that goes. Best of luck. Hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Yeah, for sure. Can I thank my sponsors real quick?
Absolutely, always.
I just got to thank everybody at Coast to Coast Sim Sports, Fragility Speed Shop. Without them, it wouldn't be possible at all. And thanks for Jenkins spotting and Mike Augustine and you for broadcasting and whatever his name is, for putting his league on.
There you go, Aiden Stull.
Brody.
Yes, Brody Wilhelm. I was going to mention, yeah, Brody does a great job making these events possible. So a big shout out to him, but a big shout out to you, Aiden. You're the race winner. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Aiden Stull gets the win here at Cedar Lake Speedway. On down to second place. I don't think he can be too upset with this, especially considering you were watching most of that fight between Aiden Stull and your teammate Ryan Avila here. Aiden Forster, second place. Again, I don't think he can be upset with that, but obviously wanting more. Do you think he needed one more caution? Is there anything you could have done to get him?
Yeah, another, I think a green flag run there. Another 5 laps would have been nice there, but it was only 35, so we'll take it. Car got pretty good at the very end there. It's just, it was hard to make any moves there. Those guys were bumper to bumper doing their own battle, so it's tough. I was really just waiting for them to start throwing stuff and making mistakes, and that happened there, but it was only on the last lap, and we could only get second out of it. So we'll take it. We tried to play the smart game and was able to get a spot out of it. Track was locked down around the top and couldn't really do much, so I'm happy with it considering the track conditions.
And of course, we're off for a little while with this league in particular. Brody taking kind of a sabbatical summer vacation, if you will, coming back to school in Kokomo in September. But until then, where are we going to see Aiden Forster and the TPR logos racing through July and August?
Yeah, we'll be running, we've been running Australian League early in the morning, and we have some other money races we've been running. So you'll still see us, just not as much as during the winter time, but we'll still be ripping, we'll still be getting results, and hopefully we can do a little better and get some wins.
Well, hopefully we're talking to you when the fall rolls around, Aiden. Congratulations, second place, some cash for your pockets, and hopefully we're talking to you again in September.
Yeah, also got to thank Tanner enough for all the work he puts in for TPR and all of us, and also got to thank Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Aces Up Sim Sport, CD Cinematography, Trackside Collective, Blake Carrick Racing, Sim Map Market, just everyone that helps out.
There you go, Aiden Forster, second place tonight, just edging out his teammate Ryan Avila, who we'll go and talk to next. Aiden, thanks for your time. And second place, third place rather, Ryan Avila. Ryan, you were second for a good portion of that race. You were also first for a good portion of that race. Instead, you come home third. What happened there in the later stages?
Oh, hello. I think we're good now. Yeah, just kind of threw it away. No grip on the track, and kind of leads to, if you slide 1 and 2, and even though in 3 and 4 there's nothing to come off, so that guy sliding is probably the better car coming off, and that ended up happening. Caught lap traffic there in the middle stage of the race, and felt good through it. Wasn't the best navigating it. I think he got to me during that, and just picked his play right, and it got me caught out.
You mentioned the track being real slick, and certainly from the top to bottom it is shiny, very, very shiny. Is there maybe something that you feel that should be looked at in the track prep? Should we reset the track back a little bit more? Should anything even be changed there?
I think the track through qualifying and heats are great. Obviously the feature, I'm not too happy with it. I don't think many people are. It's not up to us, it's up to him. But if there was a suggestion, I think we do, give more time in the warm up, and have it ran in, before the feature and not just carried over. It still puts on okay racing. It's not, I don't think it's the best we can get out of it. Cedar's usually a one line dominated track, and I don't know if you can ever get away from that, but maybe with some track prep, and some designated track prep to where we run one line in, maybe it goes somewhere different, and maybe we see that, later in the season. But yeah, it's all up to Brody. I think he puts on a great league, a lot of money. So yeah, it's great, to run these races, and I'd taken a bit of a break, so glad to come back and still compete.
Absolutely. Brody puts in a bunch of work and straight up a bunch of cash on the table for all you guys to come run. So obviously, I was talking with Aiden briefly about what he'll be doing in the next couple of months. We're not racing here in the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series again until September. What will you be up to here in these next couple of months of dirt racing on iRacing?
I've been taking a step back from dirt. I've been finding myself running a lot more road. And I enjoy that a little bit more than dirt. Dirt doesn't get too many updates, and lately we haven't had one for, a while now. So it's kind of just repetitive and kind of the same thing. Still do enjoy it. I still like running these races. I'm still here to compete, and that's what I do in this game. But yeah, I've been enjoying road a lot. So trying to find some leagues for that, even some just races here and there.
Well, buddy, I'm actually not sure if registration is still open, but if you've got Thursdays free and like the Porsche Cup car, we've got a series starting that could be up your alley next week. North American Racing League here on the channel. But hey, Ryan, whether you're able to run that or not, whether we just see you here on Wednesdays and Fridays, good to talk to you. Congratulations. I know it's not the position you wanted, but still a good night here at Cedar Lake when you're walking away with some cash.
Yeah, I got to thank Brody from the league on, you guys for broadcasting. It's great to get out there, and it's something different than Pro Series that we have. We got to thank Tanner. We were digging throughout the entire race and just got caught out a little late, and obviously Aiden, Kenny, and everybody else that helps. Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Aces Up Sim Sports, CD Photography, Trackside Collective, Blake Carrick Racing, Ethan Johnson over at Free Speed, and Simrat Market. And yeah, I'll definitely look at that Porsche Cup League. That's what I'm looking for.
Ryan Avila, third place tonight. Hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Thank you.
A fun race here this evening at Cedar Lake Speedway. I know a couple of drivers walked away maybe a little more empty-handed than they would have liked, and a couple walk away with a little more in their pockets than they expected. That's the way racing goes, and everybody wants their own thing with track prep. I don't think anybody's necessarily right or wrong. There's a million ways you can do it, and you know what? We had great racing tonight. That's the big thing that we're here for, is just to have some good racing. The track provided that, and I am thoroughly entertained, especially with Aiden Stahl walking away with this win. A quick look back at what we're expecting the next few broadcasts here at Pit Stop TV. Here we go. Monday evening, we go to Chicagoland Speedway. That will kick off, well, not much actually. The NOR Retro Cup Series continues on, I should say, through the summer. They were just at Sonoma this past week. They'll be at Chicago, and then Montreal, and then Daytona. A big switch up the next few weeks for those Retro Cup Series drivers. And then Wednesday and Thursday, A couple of series making their return to Pit Stop TV after a bit of an off-season away. The Sarah Oarsman Ford of Manassas National Tour gets to action at South Boston Speedway on Wednesday evening. We've got Legends preceding that event. That is why you see the 8:15 p.m. start time on the Eastern Seaboard. We'll be racing Legends for 50 laps, and then late model stocks for 200, so call it the Sarah America 250 or whatever you want. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thursday, though, we kick off a new season of racing with the North American Racing League Porsche Cup Series. Season number 4 for those guys. They have been running GT3 since, I believe, 2022. Excuse me. I guess my throat needed a second there, but they've been running GT3 since, I think, actually 2023. It's been a couple of years of just straight GT3 racing, so changing things up again is going to be nice, getting back into the Porsche Cup cars for a season of racing here through the summer of 2026. You can catch all these broadcasts and more all across social media. You see the channels there down on the bottom of your screen. You can even join our Discord server. We've got leagues coming up. We've got fantasy leagues going. There's a lot going on here at Pit Stop TV. We'd certainly love to have you be a part of it. One more time, big thank you to all of our partners with the channel. Of course, Whiplash Simcams, MX Wraps, ATVO, Murder Esports, CC's Business, the North American Racing League, Whiplash Creative, TZO Designs, all doing so much for us. And I can tell you, we have got a winner for our North American Racing League Driver of the Day vote. That is going to go to Kellen Sabo in the number 2, or again, 57, however you want to look at it. The Kyle Larson car. Kellen Sabo is our driver of the day this evening from Cedar Lake Speedway. So congratulations to Kellen for that. Another big thank you, of course, to Brody Wilhelm as well. And that's going to be it for us this evening from Cedar Lake Speedway. Thanks so much for watching. It's been a pleasure as always. 2 dirt races, I guess 4 technically in 1 week. How about that? 2 nights of dirt racing in 1 week. It's been appreciated. Thank you so much to Brody Wilhelm, the entire Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series, Pit Stop TV, Whiplash Simcams, Whiplash Creative, the Whiplash Racing League. A whole lot of Whiplash, giving you Whiplash as we'll close things out here on Friday night. Hopefully we see you all again in September. Until then, make sure to join us for everything we have going on at Pit Stop TV in between now and then. A lot of racing coming up. You don't want to miss any of it. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Zelazny might have a run here. He pulls up. 2 laps to go at Auto Club Speedway. What a run this has been. 5 cars out front just dancing around the lead. Salas back to the bottom. Honeycutt stuck up top. Slide job out of Salas. Crossover out of Honeycutt.
23 should have a big run here. He does.
You see Salas starting to cover it up. He goes up the racetrack. Honeycutt's clear of them both. He shoves it up in front of the 23, gets himself loose. It'll be white flag this time by. Salas down low. Zelazny looking for a hole. Side by side, 3 wide, Coffee in it. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. Who is going to win the Luke's Playhouse 200? Honeycutt controlling the race. Coffee in second. Tires are aging. Zelazny off the top rope. Got a little bit free. He's going to crash with lights. And yes, wall there. Who knows? Honeycutt, though, leading the race. Can Coffee get a run? He's going to send it. He hits him. Big bump and run. Coffee's gonna try and get away. Can Salas get there? Coffee's gonna crash. Salas is gonna crash. Watch Nick Lights here to the stripe. Salas is gonna do it with no front bumper.
Unbelievable.
Wow. There's the white flag from Barney the Flagman. 1 lap to go at Long Beach. White flag is out, brought to you by Whiplash Simcams.
Yeah, can Rayleigh hold him off? He looked like he's started to gap Cantonio just ever so slightly. Got about half of a second. It's been hovering right around there. Oh, Cantonio really pushing. He's sideways out of turn number 1. But Rayleigh just keeping that car pointed in the right direction. Nice and smooth, able to keep it going. It's going to be tough. Antonio knows that there's not very many chances, even if he can get close enough to him to make a move. So we'll see as they come through 6 and 7, head toward turn 8 onto the backstretch.
Deeper in the field, nothing changing. Lap traffic ahead. It's Kevin Peak and Bradley Alvis right in front of our race leaders down East Seaside Way. And to turn number 9 for the final time. Lap traffic in the way, and Rayleigh goes for it on Peak. He sends it into turn 9. He knows he can't wait. He knows he can't give an opportunity to Kevin Cantonio. Cantonio's going to take it anyway. Ships it into the hairpin, and Rayleigh's going to get away. Thomas Rayleigh is going to be a race winner in the North American Racing League. A last lap bump and run wasn't enough. This man wins at Long Beach.
Wow, what a finish coming through that hairpin. I thought they were all going to wad it up. We had lap traffic in there, staying in there.